Hi, welcome back to Mama Jasmine's Food Journey. Now, if this is your first time watching, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button down below so you get notified anytime I upload a new video. Now for today, we are actually doing the first of the two videos for the fan favorites. Now, this was voted number 1 to start with this week, and that is the 7-Up pound cake. Now, this pound cake has gone quite a few years back with me. I first had it when I was transitioning homes, and I've been searching for the recipe ever since, and I finally found it. Thanks to the beautiful internet, I went ahead and found it, kind of made it a couple adjustments or omissions, and here we are today. We're gonna go ahead and get started. And we're using butter, 7-Up, lemon extract, sugar, flour, and some beautiful eggs. All right there. Those are all of our ingredients for today. So a very simple recipe, plus of course your equipment. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. And we're gonna take the softened butter. I personally like to do it at room temperature to make it easier to mix, and put that in the bowl. And we are going to cream that together with granulated sugar and dump that right on in there. Yep, there we go. That's a lot of calories. That's a lot of calories. We're gonna go ahead and mix that, and we're gonna try to cream it together as best as we can, and then we're gonna add in our other dry ingredients really in batches. So now that that's all nice and creamed together, we're gonna go ahead and start adding in our flour. So we're gonna add in our flour one section at a time. Now while we do that, I wanna say that this recipe is one of the perfect recipes that if you don't like anything incredibly sweet, but still something desserty. So there's people that don't like chocolate on chocolate on chocolate and want something very nice and light. So this cake is my favorite to give to anyone that just really wants a little bit of sweet but not too sweet when they're eating it. Now, done mixing that one, we're gonna go ahead and put the second batch in, and as you can see that it's measurable amounts, so it's nothing that's gonna make the flour come up at you as you're blending it. So we're gonna do, another third, roughly, and blend that together. Now, as you guys can guess it, it's our final third of the flour. Final third. Now here is where we're going to start to slowly incorporate one egg at a time until it's nice and blended. And then this part was so funny. That second egg just wanted to go into there for the 2 eggs. So I just let it in, and then one by one, slowly but surely, got all the eggs in. And we're gonna get that nice incorporated, and especially make sure that all the egg mixture and everything's mixed at the bottom of the bowl. We're gonna go ahead and pour in 7-Up into the batter. Now, I don't know if you noticed that there's no baking soda, no baking powder, because the 7-Up does that work for us. Not only is it providing that sweet flavor, it's providing the leavening agent for it to bake. So I added about half of the 7-Up, blended it together, and then I'm gonna pour the other half of the 7-Up in the rest of the batter. As you see, it's looking already so beautiful and fluffy and delicious already. And of course, I'm not gonna lick the bowl. I mean, that's only just crazy talk to do that. But I am gonna add one more element, and that is a little bit of lemon extract. And that's just to bring that extra lemony flavor to the cake. And let me tell you, as this cake is baking, you are gonna smell the aroma coming off this cake. The other thing I wanted to tell you is that I purposely chose not to do the icing But normally I do, but I felt that we didn't need it because the cake is already just nice, mild, and sweet, and we wanted just to kind of keep it off. But if you want the extra sweetness and the tanginess, you can do the frosting with a little bit of 7-Up, powdered sugar, and a little vanilla. And that also will be in the recipe down below and in the blog. Now, this is a very interesting step. I like to butter my Bundt Pan because I feel that it helps with the color of the cake and also just developing a crunch and a flavor to it. So first I butter the pan and I make sure to get as many of the crevices of the pan covered. And then I'm gonna go in with some cooking spray. And the cooking spray is gonna just be that extra measure for me to ensure that the pan is going to not stick to the cake and vice versa. So now the pan is nice and coated and good to go, we're gonna go ahead and start getting the batter into the bundt cake pan. We're gonna go ahead and slowly pour the batter into the bundt pan. Now I like to pour a little bit in a section, turn the pan. Pour a little bit in a section, turn the pan. Because this is a bit of a thicker batter and where it's not gonna just pour around the mold itself. You gotta kind of help it along a little bit. I am going to have to admit, it is always helpful to have someone else hold the bowl for you. But since the one person I would have hold the bowl is also holding the camera, I made it work. I made it happen and got all of the batter out of the bowl into the bundt pan. But if you have a helper, please let them hold the bowl while you scrape it in cleanly. After all the batter is poured into the mix, you're gonna go ahead and even out the batter line so then it bakes more evenly. So you're gonna go ahead and just take your spatula and run it around the pan and just make it as flat as you can. And in a preheated oven to 325 degrees, you're gonna go ahead and put this cake in to bake. Now, when we baked the cake, it took us the initial hour to bake the cake, and then we set the timer for that hour. Then we tested out how well it was done, of course, with a wooden skewer. So I have a pair of wooden chopsticks that I use, but you can use toothpick or anything that's thin and ideally wooden to see if there's any crumbs. Now, after it's cooled for about 10 to 15 minutes, you're gonna go ahead and take the platter of your choice and flip the cake on this platter very carefully. Whoop! There we go. Yeah, I'm kind of clumsy, forgive me. But we're gonna go ahead and just test to make sure I'm not gonna burn myself and take it off. And look how golden that is. And you know I couldn't do without the sexy food shots. Look at that golden crust. Now, I cut into a piece of it not only for us to make sure that it looks fantastic, but of course for us to eat. I mean, why do all this work with no reward or benefit to it, you know? Am I right? So this was piping hot, smelling of delicious lemon when we cut into it. And as my page shows, I definitely bragged about how delicious this was. And there you have it, 7-Up pound cake. Now, if you love this video and want to see more of my work, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!